Hello everybody and welcome back to another live stream, and today we're streaming Sekiro again. I'm addicted. Help me. So today we're just gonna do some more farming and hopefully we can get the empowered mortal draw. But you know, if we can. And I realized a problem. So you see, I thought I only needed this, but I also needed this. So that means I have to get 2 level, 3 level, right, the 3 level, so that's 5 level, and 9 level to get that, and then I need to get another 5 level. I need to get 14 levels today. It's ridiculous. Yep, there we go. Can't be 2 of them. No! Get him! Money. I love money. Yes, sir. Now they're both out there. Yeah, get him. Bro! Get comboed to them! Get comboed! Bro! You have no health left! Stole. No! The fuck? There's no one. what the hell? How do I, like, not miss any of the first few? And how did I miss that one? Did I get more? Let's go! I got more. Why would you do that? You don't know yourself, though, too. No, no, no! That was a lot. No, it didn't increase nor decrease. Maybe this will help. You know this anyway. He also noticed. Everybody noticed. How is that not dealing more than like 2 damage on that? that's too painstakingly done. No, my emblem decrease. Hey, so have I learned all of these? Nope, I'm still missing 5 here. Guys, to be honest, I don't even want to complete this in this playthrough. Why? Because it feels kind of impossible. Kind of, sort of, just want to go on the next playthrough. And I titled this Grind Month, therefore I grind. Now you help us, oh. That was Alright then, let's go do a boss fight. I can't take it anymore, man. Wait, we need the Tanto first. That's the sweet skill, thank you very much. I love the point of view. You know, really makes things clearer for me. Oh, look at that. That was so cool. That was so cool. No! I forgot about that move! That move do cause terror, both in-game and IRL. No! What the heck? got him. Wait, so did I miss a boss? Wait, it doesn't make sense. I probably didn't. Yeah, that looks good. You can take out the Shichiman warrior and get some more good stuff. And probably get some XP. Okay. Who's on? Wait. I forgot how fast it builds up! XP, I lied. These are not good amount of XPs. These are bad amount of XP, I guess. Ah! That's some easy lapis lazuli.
Posting every day, it seems like. He's always posting like banger TikToks that seem to do really well on the TikTok algorithm. I mean, they all have like millions of views. Some of them even have millions of likes.
That was easy. The heck? Don't attack me, don't attack them. They are your enemy. It's not even worth it anymore. That's my shit. Huh? switching so often? Oh, what the? Oh no! He couldn't hold on for long enough, and then he just dead. Okay. Time for some optimizing. Gonna let those do their thing. $10. Oh no. Well, we have reached 10,000 sen. That is a lot of money. What the? Where? That went unexpectedly well. execution animation. That one. Oh, dude. That was amazing. Did you guys see that one? Oh, wait. Not letting me do the execution animation, I see. Alright, to not worry about the spirit emblems, let's purchase 2,000 coins worth, 2,000. Hello everybody, and today we will be spending 2,400 cent on spirit emblem. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. It ended faster than I can do the intro. Alright, now we can unlock this. Bruh, you kidding me? I need 4 and 5. Alright, it's 8:40 right now. Let's see how long it's gonna take for me to get on there. You've got to be kidding me. Okay, alright. Pretty good. I don't even see that guy like moving out. If that guy doesn't move out, then I'm just gonna come back. That's my optimized way of doing it. It's more efficient than, spending time. Because the amount of time I've spent at this place fighting all of these guys is probably more than like 3 runs of these. I didn't know why that guy keeps moving out, but it's gonna take so long. Do you know what the definition of insanity is? It's doing the same thing over. That's the first one. Oh no, now we gotta do the long way. Oh, talking about 3v1, I remember another story from the Chinese Star Wars. I guess I can talk about it. I did promise that I was going to talk about it in some stream. I guess it's today. So, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about when I'm saying Chinese Star Wars, you guys can go watch the Grinding Money and Headless Boss live stream. I think it's that one, I think. So in that, and I will do a quick run through. So basically, there's a Chinese Star Wars that was originally like, it's like a story that was originally published in like 1963. So it's definitely before Star Wars was ever a thing. And then, you know, last time I just went through the setting, like the most basic setting. So basically the world they're in Chinese, the direct translation is called the River Lake World, but for simplicity, I just call it the Kung Fu world, okay? And then in the Kung Fu world, there's two different types of Kung Fu, direct translation, inner work and outer work. Inner work is like the Force, okay? It's like the Force from Star Wars. And the outer work is like the Kung Fu that we know and love, so it's about your techniques and stuff. No! And how the power scaling work in that world is basically, first, in order for you to learn your outer work, your kung fu techniques, you need to have a strong inner work. If you don't have a strong inner work, or if you want to call it the force, that if you use some normal kung fu techniques, you will be fine. But if you use some high-level kung fu technique, at the minimum, you will have some, uncomfortable feelings when you use them for way too long, for like 10 minutes. Or even for some people with weaker forces, maybe after a few months, you will already start to feel there's something wrong with your body. And if you are using like high-level techniques, then there's a chance of you going crazy, or at the worst situation, all your veins in your body pops, and you just turn into Mr. Bloodman. Literally. You just explode into a puddle of blood. And and in order, and there's the way to get a more stronger force is by practicing inner work. So wait, shit. Sorry, the inner work is not the force, but inner work increases the force, and you need for most kung fu techniques you don't need a specific inner work to correspond to it, but there is some high-level outer work technique that needs to be paired up with the use of inner work, or like I said, you turn into Bloodman, or you go crazy. That's the two options that exist. And in order to, and there's also like two different kinds of people, well, very general. So the dummies and the smarties. The smarties, basically, they are born very smart and they can understand all the scrolls. If you got, basically, inner works are written on scrolls, and you know those are written like Shakespearean English, and it requires you to understand what it means, and it all depends on if you're dumb or smart. And so if you're born smart, you're built for kung fu, and you can easily understand the both inner and outer world, and just simply master everything. Like you're built different. You have a special gift for kung fu, or you're the dumb kind. Yet you have to practice, and practice. And if you don't practice, your force just don't increase. Therefore, you're not for kung fu. But in the setting of the book, there is still some technique that doesn't require you to be smart or have any amount of forces in your body, or have just any sort of strong physique. You can just use it. And yeah, that's basically the most basic setting. And I want to go into like the force a little bit more. Like, you know how in Disney they think they're so smart by coming up with everybody have force? In that novel series or that universe, everybody in that world, no matter if you have a lot of force or just a little force, you have force. It just depends on, if you have a lot or you just barely have any. So yeah, and force is increased by practicing inner work mostly. So that's the basic setting. And before I start talking about the first book, like I said, like a few days ago, maybe last week, I have to remind you guys again. In order to power prep this whole universe pretty well, there's a lot of different factions, okay? Give me a second, gotta drink some water. There's a few different factions in the world, but the most powerful faction ever in that single universe is a faction called the Boundless. Basically mean that the reason that they named themselves that is because their kung fu is just too powerful. That no one can limit where they go or what they do. They can do whatever they want. They're like Homelander, but they're not as crazy as Homelander or as. And the original creator of the Boundless faction, he is very powerful because he passed down 3 inner work that is insanely broken. But we don't know much about the creator of the Boundless faction other than his name, the Son of Boundless, and his 3 technique that he passed on to his 3 apprentices. 2 female and 1 male. I can barely translate their name, so please don't ask. I will just refer to them as the first apprentice, the second apprentice, and the third apprentice. The first apprentice is a female, and her inner work is a very special one. Basically, that inner work will give you a lot of forces. It's very, very powerful, but a downside that can even count it as a downside is you have to go back to your child body every once 30 years, and it will take you 30 days to regain all your power and become even more powerful. And so the first apprentice practiced the technique since she was 6. When she was 36, she went back to her 6-year-old body for 30 days. And when she was 60, she went back for 66 days. So the 30-year accumulates. The amount of days you need to recover your power accumulates. But technically, if you can keep doing this, you're just immortal. So it's genuinely insane. The second apprentice, male, his inner work, I can actually do a translation, is called the North Hell Divine Work. Yes. And that inner work actually has a very well-written description, which basically, it can suck force away from your opponent. I remember in Star Wars Legend, like, some character can just take away their opponent's Metachlorian. Basically does. So even if you only know the inner work and you barely have any forces. Oh yeah, by the way, this inner work doesn't require any forces to use. It helps you build forces, but it doesn't require any forces to use. You can be the dumbest person on this world and still use it. It's that broken. Basically, the second you and your opponent make contact, if you want to, or you are able to use the technique, you can start sucking your opponent's force, and they cannot move. Like, they cannot resist this process, no matter how strong they are. Oh wait, I'm wrong again. They can't like in the condition of you are just the weakest person in the whole Kung Fu world, then they might be able to break free from you, because they have like 30 years worth of forces in them, and you have like none except the inner work. So that's kind of render your ability, your inner work ability, a little bit useless. If your opponent is like way too stronger than you. But if you practice a lot, you will have enough inner force to be able to just ignore their power, and they just can't break free from you until all their power is sucked out. And there's no negative effect for the opponent other than they will lose all their Kung Fu and their force. That's it. There's no negative effect. There's no damage to their body. And sometimes it can actually help people. In the condition of, like I said, when they practice Kung Fu without, enough inner force, without force or the correct inner work, you can just suck their forces out and suck out their Kung Fu entirely. So, it completely solve the problem. But, they still lose all their power. So, it depends. But, if that guy is like, don't save me, I would rather die than lose everything, then, perhaps you shouldn't save me. And that is genuinely broken, and just wait till I tell you guys the better version. And the third apprentice, female, her inner work is probably the weakest of them all, I would say, because her inner work actually has some requirements. Her inner work's ability is to copy their opponent's technique, outer work techniques, as long as they have enough inner, as long as they have enough force in their body to do it. But you know, this might seem pretty useless on its own. But later, the second apprentice and the third apprentice got married, and they started to practice each other's inner work. And then they made this better version, which basically it lets you copy all your opponent's outer work technique, and it can suck out their forces. So if you learn these two of them, you are invincible. There's no way anyone can beat you. It's physically impossible. Like, what are they gonna do? They touch you, their forces just get sucked out. And because you have the North Hell Divine Word, there is no way they will be able to break free from you. And if they just try to, you know, beat you with outer work technique, because there is some long range outer work technique, it's like force choke, but you know, a bit more creative, which is basically shooting your force out of your body and clashing it with your enemy's force or your opponent's force. But that still doesn't work, because you know, the third apprentice is oh, I can actually translate the third apprentice's work. It might sound a little bit weird, but it's called little no like work. A little not alike work. Basically, you know, just copy. Control CV. And even if you use your outer work technique, your opponent can basically just copy your outer work technique. And because, you know, they practice the North Hell Divine Work, which helps you increase your force immensely, pretty much your opponent's copy version of your technique is going to be way stronger than yours because they have so much more force than you. Oh yeah, by the way, your outer work techniques, like, how do I say it, like, the power it has completely depends on how much force you have. So if one person have 10 years worth of force in their body and the other have 20 and they use the same technique, the person with 20 is definitely going to win over the person that only has 10 years. Maybe the person with 10 years will get obliterated into Blood Man. Who knows? Alright. It's in front of us now. And so, yeah, basically, if you learn the North Hell Divine Work and the Little Not Alike Work, you're invincible in the Kung Fu world. And in the first book, there is one people that has learned all three of them. All three of them, okay? And you guys can go watch it. I think you guys can go watch this show. Go search up the 2003 version. That's the best version. I think it's called the Devil, the Demigod and the Devil. That's the English name. If you guys search on YouTube, you should be able to find it. And I guess translate just saying their Chinese name is not memorable enough. So I'm gonna give them a even less memorable name to save you guys the trouble. So, at the start of the story, there's this prince of this country. At the time, China was like split between a lot of different countries, and this prince is a prince of a decently sized country. And you know, he was just wandering around one day until he climbed off a mountain, and then he see a lot of people fighting. He is a very good person, so he tried to stop them from fighting, even though he had no kung fu at all. And so, you know, he kind of failed and just got shoved aside until this girl appeared. She barely has any kung fu too, but she had this very powerful creature powerful, poisonous, yes. It's like King Cobra, but 10 times that. Because in the universe, like, if you feed something poisonous for a long time, they just become poisonous themselves. So, you know, and then she just tell the guy that is released and said, there is no cure. Well, at least I don't have it right now. You gotta go find my dad. In this place called the No Love Valley, or the Loveless Valley. And so, you know, to prevent the girl from not coming back, they send the prince to the Loveless Valley. But here it's getting to the funny part. The prince's father, let's just call him the prince's father. He is a man of the women. He did the no-no with a lot of women, and it just happened that the girl's father of the Loveless Valley's wife is one of the prince's father's lovers. So, you know, he kind of and there's like a tablet at the entrance of the Loveless Valley saying anyone from that guy's reunion will get immediately killed if they enter. But, you know, the prince is like, what do you mean? You can't just do that. But, you know, he's like, nah, I don't care. I gotta save that girl. So he just goes in. And then, you know, the owner of the valley isn't there. So it's his wife. And after his wife heard the prince's name, she tried to, you know, protect him because she still has some love for her lover. Yeah, even after all those years. Like, probably like 18 years or so. And, you know, but the owner found out and he was there anyway. But, you know, for the sake of his daughter, after some conflict, he was let out. And by conflict, I mean the owner and his wife went into a little bit of a sword fight, and the owner accidentally got hit by his wife. So his wife, you know, because the owner is heavily injured, so he can't do anything. So the wife just told the prince to go to find someone and go save her daughter. And the prince found this girl. We will call her Holy. How am I gonna name all these characters? And we will call the girl. What was a good name? Alright, so the girl that the prince is trying to save is girl number 1. And this girl will be girl number 2. Now, there we go. Or you know what? We can call her Moo. It's actually a character in Chinese. It's not the cow moo. It's Moo. And you know, but her teacher, Moo's teacher, hates names. And again, I might as well just spoil this for you guys. It's because of the prince's father. But you know, at this point of the story, they don't know each other. So you know, after some convincing, some stubbornness, and some struggle between them, they went and go save girl number 1. But when they got there, it's night, and they see these two people knocked out like before they enter. So you know, they just so first they overheard the two people talking and heard that they were working for the first apprentice in the Boundless faction, and they were like, they're confused because you know the Boundless faction is a pretty mysterious faction to the rest of the world. So you know they're confused. But you know, but those two were knocked out by a group of people, and the group of people just left because seemingly they were just passing by. So you know they just stripped them and wore their clothes, you know, so they can pretend to be someone important. They guessed, and you know, according to the reaction of the guy who was holding the Did I remember this right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember this right. No, wait a minute. I didn't remember this right. Oh no, I forgot. Oh no. Well, I guess we can just go off, keep going. It's okay. Yeah, I think it actually happened after. Okay, so yes. So, you know, they eventually saved the girl. And the guy who held the girl captive was like very scared of her. Because the first apprentice knows something called the life-death emblem, which basically it's not really a physical emblem. It's more of a controlling your body, which by putting in this combination, tapping on your body like a combination, while inputting their force into your body, they can plant these quotation mark emblems in your body, and without the medicine, it will start to show symptoms within a year, and it will make you rather die than live. And so, you know, that's how the first apprentice make all these people be loyal to him. And you know, he thought because you know the two already delivered the medicine, and then when he saw them coming back, he was like, oh, whoa. What do you want? I don't want to feel the pain of rather dying than, you know, living. And they're just like, oh, so you know, the first apprentice just want a girl, and he's like, okay, we have a girl, take her. Yeah. And that's how, you know, the girl was rescued. But after that, yeah, because you know. After that, you know, they just went home, and after, you know, talking, and oh my gosh, okay, let me get this straight. So after the girl was rescued, they all went back to the prince's home, and when the prince's father saw both of them, actually the first girl didn't get home with the princess, just moved. So they went to the prince's home, and you know, while getting chased by some bad people. So first they ran to the prince's mother, which is not at the prince's home, because you know there is just so many lovers of the prince's father that, you know, the actual wife of the prince's father, our main character's mother, just decided, you know what, I'm gonna go live in a temple. Goodbye. It's at that point. And you know, obviously the princess mother is pretty good at kung fu. She have a name for herself in the world, so you know, the bad people are like, oh well, I guess you're lucky just left. And then after they went home, Mu realized that, you know, her teacher is her mother, and her mother hates the prince's mother, and then her mother is actually prince's father's lover, and that's why her mother, her teacher, wants her to hate men, and that means that she and the prince is brother and sister. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention, before that, they thought they were gonna get married because they are, you know, pretty into each other. So they were in a mental breakdown. And then just as everybody is having a mental breakdown, the bad guys broke in. Oh wait, I totally forgot about something. I will do previously at some point, which I can do pretty close. So there's 4 bad guys. They are known bad guys. They are called the 4 biggest bad guy in the kung fu world. That's literally their title. How many pallets do I have? 197. And you know they're here to they're here on behalf of the Loveless Valley's owner. Yes, the Loveless Valley's owner hate the prince's father so much that he worked with the baddest people in the Kung Fu world. But you know the third baddest guy, I will just call him number 3. Previously. So while Prince was on the way to the Loveless Valley, he accidentally fell and I think he was being chased by someone and he accidentally fell into the cave. That was very well hidden. And in the cave there's a sculpture, and at the bottom of the sculpture it says, bow to me 1,000 times and you will be awarded. But after you get the award, you also have to work for it. That's as much as I can translate it. And by bowing, they mean first you kneel and then you put your head on the ground and then you lift it back up. And he actually did it 1,000 times. And guess what he got? He got the North Hell Divine work, inner work, and he also got the light work called the Wave Riding Step. I forgot to tell you guys this in the setting, but other than the inner work and the outer work, there's a special branch of outer work named the light work. Basically, it means like it can make your body as light as feather and you can glide, but not actually fly. You have to land every once in a while. But you know, our main character, the prince, is so nice. He's like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna, and you know, thank you for what you gifted me, but because the work is the work that the statue gave him, not that the statue is alive, it's just what it's written down is, go kill all the apprentices of the Boundless faction. And I will elaborate on that later or in like a future stream. But he is like, yeah, maybe no. So he barely looked at the inner work of the North Hell Divine work. He only used the Wave Riding Step. That is like the #1 light work in the whole universe. Like throughout the whole series. Basically, if you have enough force, your enemy can never touch you. It's not possible for your enemy to touch you. It's like Ultra Instinct. But you know, our main character barely have any force, but he can pretty much evade a lot of people's attack. And that's how he made the number 3 of the 4 bad guys his apprentice. Of course, it took some trickery in between here and there, but he did it. So, you know, when the 4 bad guy went to the prince's father's house, he is like, dang it, he's my teacher, he is my master, he's my teacher, I can't do this. But, you know, the other 4 bad guy just didn't care and then just took him and moved. And, you know, they took him to the Loveless Valley and want the prince's father to go there and rescue him. And and the rescue part is a bit too complicated to explain by English. So just so you know, after some fighting and some Chinese chessing, the prince was saved. But it's not over yet for the prince, because there is this man from Mongolia that came into China. Oh my gosh, I finally feel what a teacher feels like. And because the prince's family passes down a very, very powerful technique. And it's an outward technique. You need a lot of force to be able to use it. And so not many people was able to, actually learn how to use it. Most of the people in the Princess family can only use the simplified version, which if you guys want to know what that is, go watch PewDiePie's video. They showcase it in the video. It's called the One Sun Finger. It's like getting shot by a pistol. But the way powerful version, it's called the Six Vein Divine Sword. And it's like the One Sun Finger but machine gun. And more powerful. It's like a heavy sniper but machine gun. It's like that. But it requires a lot of force to use. And no one is able to use it. But this guy from Mongolia, let's call him the evil monk. The corrupted monk. Yeah, sure, the corrupted monk. And he's like, I want this so I can burn it in my friend's grave. Because, before he was alive, he really wanted to see it. And this is the only way that he can see it. But, obviously, he just wanted for himself. And in the country that the prince is living in, there's a temple called the Sky Dragon Temple. And there's 5 monks with a decent amount of force. But, 6 Vein Divine Sword. Emphasis on 6. So the current emperor of the prince's country needs to become a monk. I didn't know why. To, practice this. But, they ended up fighting the corrupted monk. 6-1. And they are still losing. But the oldest and the wisest monk see that, like, when the prince came back from the Loveless Valley, I think because he absorbed a lot of forces from a lot of people. I forgot when, but that did happen. So, but his body, because he never practiced the outer work and only practiced a little bit of the North Hell divine work, his body can't take it anymore. So the old monk think that, practicing the 6 Vein Divine Sword might help him to distribute all the force that is, trapped in his body. And remember how in the setting I talked about the wise and the dumb? So apparently, our main character is very wise. And he was just able to photographically memorize the whole thing. So after the old monk made sure that he memorized every single technique for the 6 Vein Divine Sword, like, it scorched in his mind, he instantly burned it. And then the fighting stopped. So, the corrupted monk is angry, so he wants to kill everybody. But, suddenly, our main character just start using the 6 Vein Divine Sword. And the corrupted monk is like, what the? And then, he was almost defeated. But the problem is, though our main character is smart enough to photographically scorch it in his mind, but he doesn't have a lot of, like, real life experience, like combat experience, so he can't really use it by will. So he got captured. But the old monk is like, yeah, no, he's gonna be fine. Because, the old monk knows he has some sort of force absorbing inner work, and he also have the 6 Vein Divine Sword outer work. So the old monk's like, yeah, no, the corrupted monk cannot harm him. He will be fine. He's young, so let him go travel. And everybody's like, okay, yeah. And then they travel to the main country of China at that time. I need to drink again. I don't want to be a teacher now. I really don't. And the old monk, the corrupted monk, took him to where his friend used to live, and he is requesting to see his old friend's son. or just, you know, to visit his old friend's grave. But, you know, obviously, the people there doesn't really want our main character to get burned alive, because the corrupted monk's logic is, since you remember every single technique, then I guess I'll just burn you. I mean, he is not now just doing it for pure retaliation. So there was 2 girls there. One is very good at the face swapping technique. Yes, face swapping exists in that world. So she tried to pull it off, but you know, the corrupted monk ended up seeing through her disguise and almost burned our main character. But you know, the 2 girl ended up convincing the corrupted monk, you know, you don't want to do that. So the corrupted monk just left. I barely remember how that part went. And, you know, our prince is taken to a... what would you call it? Let's just say another valley. It's called the... What is... let's just call it the Tea Valley. And then... Guess what? The owner of the Tea Valley, which is a woman, she is also the prince's father's lover. But you know, the prince was able to convince her to not kill him with his insane amount of tea knowledge. And at there, our prince managed to meet the love of his life. And in the 2003 version, the female actor that played that character is the one that played Mulan in 2020. And, you know, our prince is just like... And the reason that he just fell in love with her is because the sculpture in the cave looked exactly like her, but the sculpture in the cave is actually the third apprentice's sculpture. And... the main female protagonist, what are we going to call her? Let's just call her, main female character. Our main female character is the third apprentice's granddaughter, but she doesn't know that she is the third apprentice's granddaughter. But you know, he just fall in love. But at that time, you know, she was still in love with her cousin. I kid you not. Our main female protagonist, for the large amount of time in the story, is in love with her cousin. But you know, it's like Romeo and Juliet, like people marrying at 14, you know, it's ancient practices. Let's just look past it. And you know, and the prince is just in love, but you know, she's like, no, sorry, I have a boyfriend, but in a very polite way. It's not the, ew, I have a boyfriend, why are you so gross? It's yeah, no, sorry, I have a boyfriend, in case you did not know. And he's like, well, yes. So, you know, they don't hate each other, but they're like just normal friends. And I can barely remember what happened next. And then, like, I think the main female characters, I swear I need to come up with a name. She is not a Mary Sue, so I don't want to call her Mary. Well then, let's just call her. it's very tempting to just call him Joe, but no. Let me think about it. Yeah, no, I will go with the main female character. I think the reason that our prince left is that, you know, her cousin came back, so he just left. And here's where the second main character is introduced. So before we go on, we can talk about the second main character. It's actually pretty easy to translate. We will just call him Joe, because his name really sounds like... His last name really sounds like Joe. And we get introduced to another faction, which is the homeless faction. Or the beggar faction. The beggar faction is better. He is the leader of the beggar faction. Don't be fooled by the name. The beggar faction is the largest faction throughout the whole world. And they're not really begging, but you know, they do good for the people. That's what the beggar is. Yeah, it means like they're common people. They work for the interests of common folk. And you know, our second main character, Joe, is just the leader of them. And he was about to become the leader of the beggar faction until the leader before him was assassinated. And okay, so the main female character's cousin, we are gonna call him Fu. And Fu's like his known name on the in the whole world is that he defeat his opponent by their own technique. And coincidentally, you know, the beggar faction leader was defeated by his own technique, so they were suspecting Fu. But you know, Joe still became the leader of the beggar faction. And you know, and on this day, in a restaurant, Joe see the prince, and because the prince was just drinking, and you know, the prince see him, and he was attracted by him, like not in a sexual or a romantic way, but it's like, damn, this guy is cool. So he keeps looking at him, and because of this, Joe is like, is that guy Fu? Because Joe always wanted to meet Fu, because Joe always think that Fu was a pretty good person. So he just wanted to meet him, and he mistaken the prince as Fu. So he went up to him and be like, you know, let's drink together, bro. And you know, our prince, you know, just got rejected by his by his love of the love of his life. He's like, yeah, sure. And you know, our prince is not good at drinking, but the six-ring divine sword can help him like repel all the alcohol out of his body. So Joe was like, damn, okay now, this guy is cool like me. And then after that, they pay their bills, and then they, you know, went and, you know, compete with their light work. And, you know, I think by now, the prince is good enough with the wave riding set that even Joe cannot compete with the prince. And by the way, Joe is the strongest character in the whole book, without like any of the Boundless faction techniques. The only technique he uses is a Shaolin inner work and the 18 dragon surrender in pen. And the 18 dragon surrender in pen is like what every leader of the beggar faction needs to learn. And he is the one that kind of sort of mastered it. There was originally 28 techniques, but he simplified it to 18 techniques. It might seem nice for him, but this made it so hard for the future Beggar faction that I don't think barely any one of them, like maybe out of 30 of them, maybe like 3 of them actually mastered it after that. But he is the most powerful character in this book without the balance faction technique, which, you know, crazy. And we unlocked it. We started at 840. It almost took an hour. Jeez. We did it. Now let's make an attempt at, you know, the boss fights. But we can keep telling the story. And so, you know, yeah, they both think each other's very cool, and the prince, you know, go clean and tell him, you know, like, I'm not actually good at drinking, I just repel it out of my body. But, you know, Joe is a cool person, and he's like, nah, bro, you're just cool. And they decided to become brothers. Like, there's a thing in China, you can become brother with someone without actually being related. And after becoming brother, and he's like, hey, yo, bro, I got this meeting, do you want to go with me? And, you know, the prince, having literally nothing to do, he's like, yeah, why not? So they went to this meeting. And this is where everything goes downhill for Mr. Joe here. I hate to break this to you. Yeah. Even as powerful as Joe, it's starting to go downhill for him. So they went to this meeting, and there is 4 elders of the Beggars faction. They all love Joe and think he is like a very good person, and they have absolutely no problem with him being the leader. But you know, the meeting was a fuck. And the meeting was about wait, let me think. I think the meeting was to discuss how the former leader died. And you know, Joe, being the awesome person that he is, when everybody was suspecting Fu so hard, he's like, I believe that he didn't do it. And everybody's like, yes. And then this guy that want to be the leader of the Beggar faction so much, we will call him Mr. Power, because his name in Chinese kind of sounds like power. No, I don't want to do this! Why am I doing this? But, you know, and then he brought up something else, like, oh yeah, check this out. I have proof that Joe is not actually Chinese. He is a Mongol. And everybody was like, what? And then, you know, Joe is confused because he was adopted by the Beggar faction. He does not know who his parents is, and you know, like his nationality. So he is like really confused, and he's like, "Bro, you gotta show proof." And he's like, "Yeah, I got it." And then the former leader's wife came out to testify that, you know, yeah, the former leader knew that he was a Mongol, but, you know, still adopted him. So, you know, everybody's like, yeah, what the heck? But, you know, Joe is like, I didn't know I was a Mongol, but, you know, I haven't done anything that is bad to this, you know, faction. I haven't done anything that is bad to this country. I think, you know, I'm good enough a person. And everybody's like, oh yeah, and you know, because the Mr. Power was trying to dethrone him, all the elders believed him for a second, and they were like, we are afraid of please punish us, kill us. And you know, Joe being awesome, like, no. I will take your punishment for you guys. And because Joe's force is very strong, he took 4 stabs, because you know there's 4 elders, into his stomach, and he survived. Or into his chest. And he survived that because his like force and inner work is very strong. But you know, it's not over yet. But you know, the Mr. Power guy's like, okay, yeah, sure, you didn't do anything bad, but you know, you're still a Mongol, and a Mongol cannot be our leader. So you know, no matter what Joe did or what Joe tried to do, he was kicked out of the faction. Or I mean, like he quit, and he's like, fine, you know, if they're using this argument against me, then I will go investigate who I am and how my parents died, because, oh wait, I forgot to mention, like at the start, they didn't believe Mr. Power and, you know, the former leader's wife that much, because you know how cool Joe is. They're just like, oh yeah, Joe is making sense here. But there's another thing that is delivered for Mr. Power, which is physical evidence from the former leader showing that, you know, Joe is 100% Mongol. And then that's how he is like, all right, that's it. I'm gonna go find out my you know, how my parents died and who I really am. And before I can do that, I resign. And you know, even though the before elders, you know, kind of tried to you know, to tell him to stay, but they're like, they can't really argue against the like concrete evidence. So they're powerless in that situation too. So and for like the next few chapters or episodes, it depends on if you read or watched, it's basically about Joe looking for the mysterious guy who led the team to kill his friend. And after, you know, Joe left, another small country called the West Summer Country sent some kung fu masters, and they used poison to just, you know, roofie everybody there. But you know, Joe and the prince already left. Wait, no, the prince didn't. Oh yeah, and the love of the main female character was also there, so you know. And because you're, oh wait, I forgot again. Before this, while the prince was on his way to the Loveless Valley, he accidentally swallowed a frog that is extremely poisonous. But that, in turn, made him unpoisonable. Basically, no poison will ever work on him. So, you know, when everybody is Rufy, including the love of his life, he is the only one that is not Rufy. So he just, you know, bring the main female protagonist and just ran. He ran. He is not your typical, you know, male protagonist where he is just like, yeah, I will stay and I gotta stay and save people. Love second. And people that I don't know first. You know, he's like, nah, man, I'm out of here. And you know, they ran to this place where, you know, a very kind couple let them stay. But the West Summer Country samurai caught up to them. By the way, the country is not Japan. They simply use the term samurai. No fuck. Caught up to them, killed a couple, but here's the thing. Okay, even though that the prince is not that good with his kung fu, the main female protagonist, she knows kung fu very well, but she just can't use any of them. So she can just help him to defeat the samurais because she can tell the prince how to use the 6 main divine sword and the wave riding step to counter him. No! How could that happen? How did that happen? Oh wait, we still have time. But you know, her cousin, who was so worried about her, hid as one of the samurais and, you know, infiltrated. But, you know, after seeing the prince, because, you know, the main female character is poisoned. She doesn't have any power, so she can't change her wet clothes by herself. So, you know, the prince did the job for her, while having his eyes closed, of course. Because in ancient China, the purity of a woman is very important, so the prince doesn't want to do anything bad to her nature. But, you know, her cousin got really jealous and tried to kill him. And if it's not for his insanely powerful, he had more combat experience, the prince might have been able to have beaten him with the help of the main female character. But, you know, he wasn't able to. Because he lacked combat experience. But, you know, and then her cousin just left after, you know, telling the kid, like, stay away from me. The prince, not the kid. But he's a kid, you better stay away from him. And both of them are confused, like, why does he care about you so much? And she's like, man, I don't know. And after that, you know, the prince accidentally found Joe, like coincidentally found Joe. So they went together to save the beggar factor. Wait, no, actually not. He didn't find him. He found the girl that saved him at, you know, from the corrupted monk. So the girl decided to, you know, face swap her as Joe and the prince as Fu, so they can go in together and, you know, maybe help Fu's, like, reputation in the beggars game, like the fashion. And that kind of worked if Joe didn't show up. like the real Joe showed up, like after everybody in the beggar's faction was saved, and the samurais were beaten and chased away. But he's like, what? I didn't came here before. And so the whole thing worsened. But at that point, Joe's like, yeah, I don't care. Yeah, and after that, Joe went on to investigate. That part is just way too depressing and complicated. And the prince, let me think about what the prince did. Ah, yes. So remember the Balance faction? I can't talk. The apprentice of the second apprentice said, whoever can solve this Chinese chess puzzle can get all 70 years of the second apprentice's power of the force that he had accumulated. And, the North Hell Divine Work and the third apprentice's inner work too. So everybody went because they're like, holy cow, those gotta be some very powerful power. Like even if those inner works are trash, because they don't know. They like again, that faction is very mysterious to the common people, but they know 7 years worth of forces that will make you invincible in this world. Like, pretty much to everybody, unless they are just insanely powerful. So they all win, and here's where our third character shows up. The third main character. We will just call him the Monk. And he just went there because he was gonna, oh no. He was gonna visit his grand teacher. It's like grandfather in terms of teacher. And he thought, I might as well go there. So he just went there with his current teacher. And, he was just there to... He didn't plan on to get anything. He was just there to see, like, what's going on. It happens a lot in these stories. Like, people don't go there for anything. They just go there to see what's going on. Like they don't go there. Most people know that they don't have a chance, so they don't go there for anything, but just to see like, oh, this is going on, and have a cool story to tell when they're having a drink with their cool friends. But the four biggest, baddest guys were there, and the biggest, baddest guy was trying to solve it. But the key thing about this is that the more you want to solve it, the smarter you are, the more impossible it is for you to solve it. And, if you have some mental health problem that you didn't figure out, it's gonna give you some hallucination that will lead you to self-termination. That's the brand takeover. But, our main character, the monk, is like, this guy might be bad, but I can't just, be a bystander while he commits suicide. So he just randomly put a piece on there, and that apparently was the correct move, like the first correct move anybody has made for the past 50 years or something. And then, you know, after the biggest, baddest guy regained his sanity, he helped the monk to solve the puzzle, because when he is sick, he is actually pretty good at the Chinese chess. And you know, after the monk landed the first correct move, and he's like, aha, there we go, now I can solve it. So, you know, the monk ended up getting the 70 years worth of force from the second apprentice and the North Hell Divine Work. And maybe the way writing said, because, you know, by passing on your force, you also pass on your kung fu to the other guy. And he also become like the what would you? Oh yeah, the leader of the Boundless faction. But there is this guy. He was the first apprentice of the second apprentice, but he ended up falling in love with the third apprentice, and the third apprentice and the second apprentice's first apprentice tried to murder the second apprentice, but the second apprentice managed to survive and fake his death. So the second apprentice's first apprentice just went on a killing spree. He killed the monk's teacher, and he killed the second apprentice's second apprentice, and then just ran away. And you know, the monk, he is like very mad, and he's like, I will get you one day, but you know, at that point, he just continued on. And back to Joe's story. To simplify it, in the effort of trying to, you know, clear his name, he just made it even worse. Like, people start to believe more and more, you know, he's the guy who killed the original leader of the beggar statue. He was the guy, you know, who did all the evil things. For example, killing a lot of people that he didn't kill. It was someone mysterious that will be revealed later. But you know, they're finally fed up, and they're like, alright, we're gonna make this meeting and we're gonna discuss how we're gonna kill Joe. But you know, and the girl that saved the prince is, you know, in love with Joe, and Joe is also heavily in love with her. And she was accidentally hurt by Joe because, you know... No, wait. When they were infiltrating the Shaolin Temple, she was, well, intentionally hurt by one of the monks with a very powerful technique. And, you know, and then Joe heard that a very, very well-known insane doctor, and his nickname is the Enemy of Death. He can pretty much bring anybody back to life because he knows the secret medicine technique of the Boundless faction. Yes, he doesn't know a lot of Kung Fu or Inner Force. Yes, he is a princess of the Boundless faction. So, you know, he know that he is going to the meeting that is going to discuss how they're going to kill him. But as cool as Joe, he's like, and she's like, you know, don't go, Joe. And Joe's like, for you, I will do anything. Which, you know, that. Talking about some good love stories. And he went there. And, you know, the doctor was like, I will save her if it was anybody else that asked me to save her. But just because it's you, I'm not going to save her. And Joe's like, what do you mean? You guys can kill me, but you know, she's innocent. But people, you know, it's just not listen. But people was like, we just want to kill you. And just like, fine, okay. If I let you guys, I will give you guys a chance to kill me. But, you know, no matter I live or die, he asked the doctor to save the girl. Which, you know, just shows how cool of a person he is. And, you know, and there's a lot of people that he knows that attended the meeting, which, you know, is just tragic. It's a very good way to build, like, a feeling of sadness, tragedy. And he's like, alright, we're gonna make this unfriend drink. If you drink with me, we just unfriend each other. And if I accidentally kill you, you know, I don't betray our friendship. And if you accidentally kill me, neither do you. And pretty much everybody drinks with him. But you know, he still begged the elders to look after the girl that he loved, like just in case he died. And he asked them, you know, to make sure that she gets the care that she needs. Which, you know, kind of demonstrate, like, no matter what nationality he is a good guy. And then the whole fight started. And with the technique of the 18 dragon surrendering hand, nobody was able to beat him. There's like hundreds of people going up to him at once, and he just repels everybody. He didn't hurt anybody at the start, but you know, as the fight go on, they're like, we can't beat him. We can't beat him. So some people decided to attack the girl he loved to distract him. But little did they know, that didn't work. That didn't do any good for them, and only enraged Joe. And he went on a fucking killing spree. I'm talking about like ripping people into shreds with your bare hands. And you know, he grabs some knife and just starts slicing up people. And there is these two that use a shield in there as their main technique, flying shield. And you know, and they try to sneak on him. And the kind of people that Joe hits the most is those people that like attack people behind their backs. So he's like, shameless! And then he breaks the shield in half, immediately kills one, and the other one's like, if the shield breaks, the guy dies. And self-terminated. And then the only one alive, he's like, I'm gonna get my revenge. But you know, the guy is like the prince. He barely has any kung fu. So he's like, well, I guess I can't do it now. But you know, just as Joe was about to kill a monk, he finally, you know, wakes up from this killing spree, and he's like, what have I done? And he's like, fine, you guys can kill me, I don't care anymore. But this mysterious guy rescued him and bring him to somewhere where he gave him all those food and water and resources for him to recover. But you know, that was crazy. That was like one of the first climax. Okay. Yeah, but I will just end the story time there. But that was one of the first climax of the story. Like, the first time you see someone as strong as Joe fighting hundreds of people full power. It's insane. Alright, story time ends. About to Oh no! I thought it was jump. How? I thought it was the correct block pattern was jump, block, or was it jump, step, and block? I should have sidestepped. I couldn't perfect that. Let's go! Inner Ishin defeated! Let's go! 3 tries. Because, you know, the first try was a few streams ago. Today, 1 try. And then the second, boom. Beat him. Now I just have to check all the merchants and see if I bought all the item. I'm pretty sure I bought all the important items from him, right? Oh, right. Yikes! I didn't save the one at the merchant because I thought I wasn't going back. I don't know if he had one of the piece of the mask. The guy in the jar might have the other. But yeah, the story that I just told was like a very rough version of the first half of the demigod and the devil. That's the English translation. I hope you guys thought that it was a pretty cool story. But you know, if you don't, then it's okay. Bird. I already got it. Right, then let's go back to the dilapidated temple. One 129. Wow. So we can make this one. Oh no, we're out of wax. Oh my gosh, I can't sing. I need grave wax. And I was barely farming fat wax. Brr. I guess I just leave it to the future run-throughs. And for now, let's splurge. $165. Now I can just apply that to every single boss fight and not feel guilty about it because I'm too rich. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching the live stream, and in the next live stream we'll be starting another run through, I'm calling it a run through because it's pretty much a run through. Calling it a playthrough will be a lie. And the ending we will be doing is the Shura ending. And I will see you guys in the next live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream, and I hope you guys have a good night.